was a prince, the heir to a beautiful kingdom, ruled by my father and mother, the king and queen. When I came of age, I set out to learn all that I could of the world, seeking adventure, my heart open and free, full of joy and hope. The soaring ambition of my heart was naive to the heartbreak and betrayal before me. I have not become what I dreamed of. I have failed, and I am broken. It all began when I met a charming, beautiful, genius witch. When I left my home, I traveled first to Illyria, a nearby kingdom filled with miles upon miles of enchanted forest. As I wandered through, I saw her gathering mushrooms and approached. The moment our eyes met, I felt our minds meet and blend together. She was the first person I'd ever met who understood my sensitivity and my curiosity about love. For 3 years, we courted. She understood my quest to find magic in the world, to see if it's all as enchanted as the storybooks say. She taught me how to feel the currents of life that connect all things, to honor the seasons, to celebrate the rotations of the stars and the moon. She loved me, truly and deeply. And though in a dark part of my mind I knew that I was under her spell, I loved her too. As the years passed, I began to feel the edges of the spell she had cast on me. She tied me to her, preventing me from leaving a narrow section of the wood without feeling great pain. I had never been in love before. I thought perhaps this was natural. I allowed her to take tiny pieces of me, to chip away at my sense of self, until I began to wake up at night, feeling the shadows of the dead gathering around me. I began to look closer at the room we shared, and saw not a lover's Arcadia, but a prison. She asked me to marry her. I said no, and that night I dreamed that the clammy hands of the dead had found me at last, touching my face and caressing my skin. I screamed, and woke to find myself face to face with the witch, her eyes wild and hungry. When the sun rose, she was nowhere to be found. As I packed a bag to leave, I found a letter from her addressed to me. In it, she professed her undying love and begged me not to leave her, not to sacrifice the beautiful life we had together. I was gone before she had a chance to come back, or a chance to protest. As the door closed behind me, I felt the binding spell break and the pain lift. I found that I could breathe again, and the lightness I felt sped me down the forest path. But as I fled, I was riddled with grief and remorse. I wish I'd had the courage to talk to her, that I hadn't just vanished without a word. It was cowardly and didn't honor the love we shared. But I was afraid she'd weave her spell around me again. I gave myself 1,000 excuses why it was easier to just disappear. The fact is, it was easier for me, even if it broke her heart. I doubt she's ever forgiven me. I haven't forgiven myself. Over the weeks that followed, I thought, maybe it's better to be cold and avoid love altogether.